G'day folks, Spackman here. Welcome back or to the channel if it's your first time here. So unexpected second part video to the interview with Jake and Bato because we're getting a lot of info here. It's taking longer than expected. So this will come out a little bit after the first one. This video mostly focused about the game itself, its features, a few questions from other members of the community as well. And this time we are going to have a leak or two as well, or whatever the leaker-in-chief Jake decides to add on that Bato may or may not be happy with. So we'll start off with the leak. Why not? So on screen now we have here an image which I will just let you guys speak to and say what you may or may not want to about it.
This is a troop that I my first brainchild of a troop, and I love the way that, and I think it'll always go this way now that sort of came about because I told the team function. I said I want a troop that does this. That's all I told them, and this is what they gave me. So going forward, and I've done that with a couple now. So going forward, I think that's almost always the way that it need to be because I play the game. And I'm like, okay, I need something that does this, this is what I'm lacking to be able to take out this base. And that's what I fed them. And so this is the creation that they gave me. And I love this guy. I'm not going to tell you what he does. I'll let y'all speculate on that. But I think he looks awesome. I can see a lot of ideas for skins and things like that for him. But he's pretty sweet, I think.
He looks to me to be, again, for those watching, I've only received this today myself. I don't know anything about it. But he looks to me a bit like in Super Mario World, that kind of running truck guy that bashes through walls and stuff, just stocky and tanky. That's sort of what he looks like to me. I mean, I've got no idea what he does, obviously, but he's got that kind of build. Anyway, time will tell.
He looks solid. I think what people are going to love, and this is something that we're doing that's again sort of a different or against the grain, is that we don't have spells in the game, so that is going to be sort of filled with troops and heroes that need for that ability or whatever. So going forward, all of our troops, they do things. They don't just run forward. So it's going to be fun to see people speculate, especially once they get to know what to expect, speculate on what troops may do. So that'll be fun.
Okay, so all troops do things. That's what you said, right? I just want to make sure that's the case. Because
not all troops, but all future troops.
Okay.
So not all troops, but...
Well, there's a difference between a troop and a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
I imagine heroes are going to be a little bit more lively.
The hero system that we're going to implement, that's pretty much implemented now, is so different. I think people are going to love it. It's something that I came up with, and I sort of had to fight with not fight. That's not the word, but joust with the team. And I'm not sure where Bato fell on that back and forth of how maybe
I wasn't even there.
But anyways, it's again, everything in this game, nothing is like, oh, this is just the way it's done, right? Everything was looked at with a critical eye and like, oh, well, what if we did it this way? Or what if is this better? Is this simpler but still adds the depth? That's what we're going for. So I think when people see what these troops and heroes do and how they interact with them, it's just going to be. I can't wait to see what people come up with because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, this is. I'm excited. And obviously the various levels there as well. I'm assuming that are there. Interesting. Are those skins, by the way, on it, or are they just various? It says color proposals. Is it more?
That's just the way the team was trying to figure out how they wanted it to look. Yep. But here's the thing: is that we can have with the system that we're implementing, we can have minor changes for skins that are very inexpensive or maybe are unlocked for free just by playing the game that maybe look like what you're talking about right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can have major ones where the troop looks completely different. So you'll have both. So not to say that those couldn't be skins, but what you're looking at there is just sort of a feedback, which one does people like better.
Okay, fantastic. And so we're not going to speak to it at the time because it's going to be playing at the very, very end of the video, but we do have a time lapse of a drawing. Do you want to quickly touch on that before we move on in terms of what that is? Because it looks similar, but I don't think it's the same.
It's not the same. It's a different being. I'll wait on that one. I'll let people speculate on that. We'll hit that next video.
All right. Okay.
Let people guess on it.
All right. So you might put out a video on it, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Cool. Well,
we'll see.
I'm happy to speculate. I've already had a couple of thoughts having seen it, but
the speculation's fun. I like that. I like the one you did where you took all the troops and speculated on what they might do.
Wrong. I know I was. I realized afterwards I went with the most basic abilities of all time. But you probably had a good chuckle with that.
You got most of them wrong, I will say.
Yeah, I figured as much, but it was worthy of a video either way.
Yeah. No, I loved it. I loved it.
All right. So we have. I'll just go back to the normal screen. Take the leak off there. So we have 3 factions, inevitably, which I imagine is still the plan. And there was talk about having 3 races within each faction. Is that still the case? Yeah. And can you speak on that if it is? Because that kind of confused me in terms of what that actually meant. Or is it just a lore aspect?
Yeah, it is. It's more to do with the lore, though. So, for instance, you have the Imperials, and you've got the humans, the elves, and the dwarves. So you've got you're going to have heroes that resemble that, troops that resemble that, different ones from different races. The idea initially was also to let a player sort of select what they want to be, their in their mind, their character, however you want to look at it. And now I would say that's probably going to be an update. It's something we still want to do because it's very much part of the story of the game. And I've got some ideas I think would be really fun as that allows them to pick that and identify as that. But so one thing that we've had to do along the way is prioritize, right? Because we have a million ideas and we want to do everything. But the bottom line is it takes time and money to do all those things. So we have to prioritize what we want in the beta, for instance. Like that's our focus. What do we have to launch beta? And that's what we're working. And so it'll be the same way for global launch. What do we have to launch global, to the games where we want it to be for that? And then we continue to add. And that we'll always do that. We'll always add to this game. It's not going to be we launch the game, I hope it does well. It's something that, like Bato said last video, we want it to be for years. And we're always going to add things like that. So yes, the races are very much still in the lore and in the game. But as far as you choosing that, you're probably looking at an update after launch.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's kind of, it's okay because for you guys, it kind of gives you content for future updates. Even though it may not be ready, you might have liked it to be ready, you effectively get free updates in a way because you already know what you're doing. It just,
there's so many things that we've got on that, like in the just that we want to do. And it's just like, man, yeah, that's awesome. But we got to put it on the back burner till after we get the game out. Cause you got to launch the game, right? And there's I think we could go forever. Just keep adding and adding and adding and be in perpetual beta, which is not what we want. So,
yeah, I was watching a video of another game, The Last Guardian. It's a fantastic sort of single player sort of game. You're controlling this giant creature. It was took 6 years to come out, that game, because they were just trying to perfect it so much. So
we're trying to avoid that, and it's easy to fall into. You don't realize it, but you have to try to avoid. Like I said, one of the main things that we talked about when I was in Mexico last was prioritizing. Okay, we've got to get to beta. Here's what we got to have, and then after that, it'll be we got to get to soft launch. Here's what we have to have, and then we got to get to global launch as well. And so we're very much prioritizing and focusing because you can just think of things forever and make games forever and never really be done, and that's fine. But you still have to say, okay, We're going to launch the game, and then we're going to add things, and that's okay, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay, cool. What's next? So I asked some people in my personal Discord, so Spackman's Riftcord community, link in the description below, one-stop shop for everything Rift of Raigard, especially once the game comes out. I'm going to just have so much in there. It's going to be like a Rift of Raigard Wikipedia. Anyway, Zenon asked there, if I'm saying that right, about the campaign mode and rewards that might be attached to that, as to whether they would not be an alternative to farming, but a supplement to, and if there are rewards there. And if there are, would those who perhaps aren't interested in lore want to do it for the rewards?
I missed the first part of the question just from a little bit of lag, but I think I got the gist of it. So what we've set out to do with our game modes is very much cater to different play styles. And we realize that some people are going to play certain game modes almost exclusively. That's what they want to do, and that's how they enjoy it. And so we don't want to discourage that. Another thing that we are very aware of is that some people don't care about lore, and we don't want to cram it down their throat. We don't want you sitting there next if you don't care about what's there. So we're not going to force you to do anything in this game. As far as rewards goes, each section will have their own rewards, and not that one would be so you just had to do it, even though it's a game mode that you hate.
Oh, yeah, no.
We want free-to-play players to have ways that if they put the time in the game, they can get a lot of cool things that people could buy for money because they don't want to wait. They don't want to worry about it. They have the money and they want it. I mean, that's fine with us too. So there's sort of, I don't feel like there's going to be limiting factors that say, oh, you have to do this to progress in the game. You're going to get to play the game how you want to play it, and you'll progress. Maybe there may be a faster way to progress through the game, but if you hate campaign and you hate lore, fine. Nothing's going to make you do that. If you hate competition, you say, I'm not a competitive person. I don't want to do I don't want to do tournaments and wars. Then that's fine too. You can farm your way through in campaign and never have a competitive bone in your body. So we're not going to force people to do either, and hopefully they will feel rewarded however they want to play the game.
Cool, thank you. I wasn't implying that people would have to do it, more as if they would want to do it because of the rewards, but you answered that anyway. And Bato, I think I'll be pausing the video on that spot.
I'm sure.
Yeah, having a little closer look. Another question I had within my Discord was from Radical regarding offline capabilities. And I was thinking about this. It might be something that you guys haven't considered yet in terms of, outside of being able to do the campaign mode offline, being able to just actually practice offline and downloading bases or having all of your saved bases available to practice personally offline, when you need to. Have you guys thought about that?
Bato, you want to take that
one? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we have thought. Even attacking yourself doesn't require a server. You won't win anything. You just practice. Obviously, we'll give you the option to take copy bases that you want to practice on. There's also, no, I'm not going to say that. So there's a different game mode that it's in the back burner. So there's ways for I mean, the campaign mode will be a living thing. It's not like a one and done item. So there's a lot of content coming to the campaign mode, and we have so many ideas on that respect alone that can be a game in and of itself. So don't think of what current campaigns are out there. This is not going to be the same. So even when people think, oh, there's a campaign mode, it can be offline. Okay, so, whatever. But that's the beginning. So that will continue and will expand. There are other game modes that will be offline capable. But at the very least, you'll be able to have different bases that you can practice on. And as you know, you can practice with any army at any point in time. It just click a button, you're done. Attack, full on. No need to wait. So you can keep on practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And that's available offline then, which is what he asked, which I actually for some reason didn't think you would have done. So that's great.
Well, we're people have to remember too is like we're players. We play this game, so the things that you want, we probably want them too. We want to be able to practice and test bases and do it when we're on the plane. I mean, we get it. So things like that, it's like okay, we want to be able to do it, and we will. It's just again, it's all about prioritization and when things come out.
Fantastic. Well, that got a big tick there. And talking about the campaign mode there, that's both music to my ears and horrible, because I'm the kind of person, I'm a completionist. I like doing everything and covering everything, as you can tell from my videos, obviously. And I would then probably want to, within the YouTube channel, try and cover everything. And it's almost sounding like that's impossible. But we'll see how we go.
I hope
you better start churning out videos all the time. So
yeah, I knew. Come on, guys, subscribe. Let's make this a full-time job.
Yeah, exactly.
Right then, and we had a question from Champagne for me within the Coffee Dun Rite questions that I quite liked, and it's a part of the game I really like. Or make sure I get this question correct. Is it possible to send a large package of Rift of Raigard stuff to Spackman? Wrong question. Champagne's other question. My apologies. So Champagne's other question. Will you guys take the time to include precious fun moments in games? They used an example of ironic voice for a troop, like a big troop with a tiny voice or something. Maybe a troop that does something if you interact with it too much. Sort of fun, childish things that sort of bring a little bit extra. For me, like seeing an animal running around the wilderness near your base, or something happening if you sit idle for too long. Those kind of feel like the last final touches on a game that kind of, for me, sometimes completed, or like the 1%ers that sort of set it above. Are you guys looking at maybe, if not yet, in time to add those sort of tiny features?
There's a lot that is. So one thing, and I think maybe this was something, maybe I'm the 1%er. It was something that was so important to me, and I basically annoyed the team till they just consented and said okay. Was the background, was the part of not your base but everything around it, and it was so important to me for it to be something special and something different, and have those details that you just want to look around and just sort of soak in. That a lot of that's going to be, and I hope tomorrow on the update, but if not, in the next few weeks, I know that they're getting close on that. And even maybe, I probably shouldn't say this, but I will. I'm the leaker in chief. Maybe even some interaction with the surrounding environment that is just something that you just don't see elsewhere. I think it's going to be awesome. So yeah,
it's deeper than interaction, though.
Yeah.
No, we've got two leakers in chief.
That's
yeah, and again, it's hard until you get your hands on it, until you. But yeah, there's nothing like that we don't, because again, we play these games, right? I mean, we're not just a company that let's make a mobile game and make some money. Everything that you guys that you think of like that and wanted, we've probably thought of, and we've looked at it and said, man, wouldn't this be cool? And that's why I tell you that there's so many things we want to do. It's almost unlimited. And we tell the art team, I feel sorry for them, because I'm like, your job will never end. Like forever, there's going to be things that we want to put in this game, and you're going to have to be creating and skins and possibilities. So it's I guess it's job security. It's job security, but it's also very daunting to know that it's just a never ending, thing. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot of things that people are like, wow. That's just cool. It does nothing for the game. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the storyline or the way you play the game, but it's just freaking cool. So we hope to have a lot of stuff like that.
Fantastic. So I mean that's great. It's a slippery slope. Those 1%ers, you can sort of then just be there forever, adding more and more. So obviously, maybe tidbits to a little bit here and there within each update, or else you are going to be there for 6 years.
Yeah, we could, and there's no question we could be. I know for a fact we could, but we can't. We won't.
No,
but we could.
Well, I mean, the industry is changing, so you got to keep up with it. If you spend that long on it, it's going to be, you have to start from scratch 3 years down the track.
Yeah. Some companies have gone bankrupt doing that. So that's a danger. But we're focused. We know exactly what we got to have on each step, and it's like get to here, and we're gonna when we get there, we're gonna proceed to the next step. We're not gonna stay in alpha forever or beta forever or anything forever. We're gonna progress and then add to the game as updates.
And I think you've effectively already touched on this anyway, because it was about the troops in the leaked gameplay being effectively very basic, and people were comparing them to things they've seen elsewhere. And I know that they were shared intentionally, so you weren't revealing too much. You mentioned before, so effectively, and everything else has got a special something to it.
What you saw were the basic troops, and that was intentional. What you saw were the basic troops. There's a lot more that you haven't seen, and they're not basic. So,
and that's obviously great to know. And in terms of defenses or structures themselves, again, we saw the basics in the video. Are other defenses and structures and whatnot also quite different to what we might be used to and seeing?
Yeah, for sure. Some of them. Some of them will obviously have some similarities. I mean, you have to splash damage. You got to have point defense. You got to have air defense. You got to have all these different things just to counteract different attacks. But there's definitely buildings that you've not seen before, and we wanted to do things different. We wanted and what people have seen is obviously the what everyone compares to is Clash, and what you've seen is the most resembling of Clash, and then there's so many things that are just like it's just a whole other world. I mean, it's not even in the ballpark. So
for example, one intersection between this question and the prior one, which is the fun stuff in the game that look cool. I'm just gonna say this. It's the trap system that Jake invented. That's just mind blowing. The integration of the fun, cool stuff with different mechanics that you haven't seen before. So that specific one, that's key.
Again, nothing was done because that's the way it's been done. It's like everything was like, well, is there a better way to do it? Is there a more interesting way to do it? Is there a way to do it that is not complex but adds way more depth to the game? And that's just the trap system's a perfect example of that.
And that's very, very, very fascinating. I mean, I did the 101 differences between Rift and Clash based off only the limited information we've received, and I got lost trying to somehow condense everything that I was finding. And I think it'd be really interesting once this game does come out and you get it out there to do interesting for maybe sort of info stats nerds like me, do a story in terms of the journey through, in terms of kind of things you kind of went through in terms of getting to where you are. For me, I would find that fascinating.
It's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. That's largely it for gameplay. It would be remiss of me, and I might lose all my subscribers if I don't ask, in terms of, do you guys have a better timeline, more accurate, now that you perhaps have learnt some lessons, maybe added an extra 30% of the buffer when beta is coming out?
Oh, my computer's shutting down. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's good. You're still fine to receive from this side. Okay.
No, I'm not even going to say that. No.
No, I mean, here's the thing. it would be a guess, and the only thing that would bother me about that, because then people would bank on it, and then if we don't deliver on that, then it's like, oh, well, it's another delay. The honest truth is, we don't know, but what we do know is that we have a very defined set of goals to get to beta. Here's what like I told you earlier. Here's what we want in the game to get to beta, and every day we're progressing towards that. I think it's. I think it's months away, but our goal is still to launch the game this year. So if that gives you any indication, somewhere in between here and there.
Chat's going to light up with this year now. That one comment.
This year. We get a lot of it soon this year. Yeah.
No, it also Ninja will be very, very happy. He's been slamming that down for ages.
Yeah.
It's look.
I'll tell you this: once we do get a date set, because we will as we approach, we'll get a date. We won't be shy about telling you. We'll let you know. Because the closer we get, then we can gauge it better, and we'll say, hey, here's the date for beta launch. So we want to get there as bad as you guys do. I promise. Probably worse, but at least as bad.
Yeah. No, of course. I think the last video you said you weren't quite thinking you'd be out in April, so I did want to ask in terms of where things were at, but based on this conversation, I didn't imagine it was coming up anytime particularly soon. And I guess relating to the content in the previous video, it's a challenge then for you guys to try and keep the breadcrumbs, I guess, coming out to people, to not build up any hype until you actually want to, but to maintain a degree of interest and relationship with, myself and everyone else who's kind of following this story and wanting the game to come out. It's just a challenge for you guys, basically, to try and balance that properly. So
we'll get
it is. Yeah, it is, and I don't know if there is a right way to do it. There's going to be people that are upset about it. It won't be right no matter what we do, and that's fine. We'll do our best, and we will try to get, especially once it'd be so much easier once the beta is out, because then you can literally just address the game. Right now, it's all speculation and it's hints and it's leaks, and it's trying to give as much information as we feel comfortable doing, but. Things will get so much smoother once we're in beta, and it's just like, okay, here's the game, and now it's just about improving it and tweaking it and adding to it. So that obviously then it's smooth sailing for videos, and we could do a lot of things then. So it's just that getting it right between. So you're talking just months away of trying to get this balance right, and we'll do our best.
Definitely sets me a challenge for trying to maintain content, though. So I've got to be a little bit creative if I want to keep things going for myself. But that's a problem for me. And that's largely it. Do you guys have any last words for everyone else before we call it quits?
I would just say, hang in there. I promise you, we're progressing every day, every week. We have the meetings where the team presents what they did for the week before and what they're going to be working on the next week. It's always good progress. It's always making things look nice. So hang in there. It's coming in, and it will be something different. It will be different than you even expect in a good way. And just to you, Spackman, honestly, I've enjoyed watching all of your videos. I really have. I'm not just saying that. I look forward to them when they come out. So keep it up. I think you've got a future in this for sure. Keep doing it the way you are, as honesty and being critical and just trying to help make the game better, because that's the kind of people that all game companies should be looking for.
Oh, good. Well, I appreciate that. Bato, anything for yourself, or are you sort of are you good?
Hit the subscribe button.
And
there you go.
I partly lied. I have got one final question before I cut off. No, this is a good question. What's your favorite part about the game? A troop, hero, graphic, mode, mechanic? Just one thing. Make sure
it would probably be speculation, because I think the tournament mode will be my favorite. It's not in the game yet, so it's hard. It's speculation, but I just love the idea of it. I'm a player, and having that just sort of on demand, I think is just going to be so much fun.
Fantastic. I know Radical in particular, he can't shut up about that within my Discord. He loves the idea of it. And Bato?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Ah, wow. I mean, it's funny. I mean, Jake is the game designer. But there's so many things that we've discussed that we've, bounced ideas around and implemented. Building the company to me is what I'm passionate about. Discussions with investors and with the team, with my wife. This is what I was born to do. I love doing this. I love creating the company. I love everything I do. I mean, it sounds stupid. I've read, that, the work you do, that it's hard, makes you tired. It's not because you're passionate. Oh man, I'm tired. It's hard and I'm still passionate. I'm still doing it. Entrepreneurship is hard. It's lonely where we are. The whole team, makes everything look nice. I love everything that we're doing. And in all honesty, I mean, I can't wait for you guys to. My favorite thing is not gonna come out for like 2 years.
Okay. So. Game 2.
Yeah. No, not even game 2, man.
I will say that it was a stroke of luck. It was fortuitous that Bato and I found each other, because it's like Smith and Wesson. It's like what he's strong at, I don't have a clue at, and obviously the what I can focus on, what I feel like I've got some skill for, which is making the game and making it what we've all sort of wished for a long time. So that's my focus right now, is this game, and then it'll be the next game and so on. So.
No worries. Well,
going to be good.
I can't wait for game 10, to be honest. Looking forward to it.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Well, look, the passion's great, guys. I'm one that lives by passion. Bato, I've worked 7-day weeks, 80 hours for a couple of years myself. I know what it is. If you've got the passion, that's great. So typically only good things can come from that. So thank you, both of you, for coming to the channel, sharing this. It went far longer than I expected, but that's only a good thing.
You get to know that if you talk with Bato and myself, it's going to be way longer than you think.
Well, look, I'm known for rambling, so and you guys have mainly spoken here, so that's fine by me. Look, wave goodbye to the camera, and we will see everyone else soon in the next video. Enjoy the little time lapse here.
Watching it end again and again. I feel it in waves, you follow me, drifting to places I should leave, so close to the end.